Hi everyone, it's Tanya here with Memory Lane Keepsakes, and welcome back to my channel. I want to thank you guys so much for taking our time to join me today. Today I am here to share my napkin card tutorial with you guys as requested. So I have shared this project that I have made using napkins to make this beautiful Christmas card here. And you can see it has a lot of shimmer on the front of it by me using the Martha Stewart glitter. I'm going to take you through the tutorial today, and I've already pre-cut a few items so that way this video is not too long and we can go ahead and get started, and I'll talk about the materials as we go. So one of the things that you're going to need is going to be a scoreboard to do this project. And so what I have here is a white cardstock base right here, and this is going to be my base starting out, and it needs to be 8.5 by 11. So what you want to do is you want to score at 5 inches straight down, and then you want to turn your paper and you want to score at 5 inches, and then also score at 10 inches. And your card is going to look something like this for your base. So now once you have done that, you want to go ahead and get your cutter. So whatever it is that you use to cut your cardstock. So I have my cutter right here. I'm going to go ahead and now cut my paper. You want to line up everything with the score marks. Keep this piece for something later. Okay, and so you should have a piece that looks like this right here. This is 5 by 5 for the base. And now what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold this, and you're also going to need your score tool as well. To make those areas a little bit more crisp and smooth so it'll lay down properly. So now we have our 5 by 5 card base, so that is ready, so you can put that off to the side. And now what we want to do is go ahead and grab our napkins of choice. So this is the pack of napkins that I used to create this tutorial. This one right here I found it Tuesday morning, but you can find napkins pretty much anywhere that you shop. And so I'm going to pull one of these napkins now and kind of show you what you need to do when you start your tutorial for doing anything with napkins. So what you want to do is you want to take your napkin and you want to open this up completely. And you can see that I have 4 squares here, and that gives me 4 cards, but we don't need all 4 of them. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and cut one of the squares out, and you just want to have your scissors on hand. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this now, and then we're going to pull those layers back. And you want to try to cut on the folded lines if you can. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be trimming this down anyway once we get it positioned on our card. Okay, so once we do that, we can save these other 3 for something later. So I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. And now you're going to have something that looks like this. So you want to peel back the layers. and this is what you're left with. It's going to become really thin for you, okay? So as I did, you saw that I removed this layer, and that's going to leave you with just this piece right here. And you can save this to use as a wiper, or just keep to leave as a extra piece on hand if you need it for something else. So now we have that. I want to bring in an additional square piece, and this particular piece that I'm bringing in is a white cardstock piece, and I have used this bigger square die to cut this piece right here out. And this particular piece right here came from the set. Let me show you the die set it came from. It came from the Memento cutting templates. This set right here I picked up from Hobby Lobby, and this one was the it's one of the biggest ones here. So it's, I believe it's the third one. It's the third one from the biggest one from all the squares. And so with that piece there, we're going to take this now and we're going to grab our our Elizabeth Craft Designs double-sided tape, and we'll bring the Martha Stewart glitter in just a moment. But you're going to need your double sticky tape, and it has to be double-sided. And what you want to do is you want to peel this back, and you want to be real careful when you handle this because it is really, really sticky. And I want to lay this tape on my square. So I'm going to bring in a different pair of scissors because I don't want to use my bigger ones right now. I'm going to bring this one in, which is by Paper Studio. It doesn't matter which scissors you use, but those are the ones I designate for double sticky tape. And what I want to do at this point is I want to lay this down. And I hope you guys can see everything that I'm doing here. I'm going to bring the camera down just a little bit here. And I want to position this to where the tape is going to line up on this paper. And once you lay this down, you cannot move it again. So make sure you get it in position where you want it. Okay, and so now what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut this piece here. Okay, and we'll go around and clean those edges up in just a moment, so don't worry about those at the moment. And then what I want to do is go ahead and cover the bottom piece of it. Okay, and so now what we're going to do is go ahead and trim around those edges right now, so that way we can go right ahead and make sure that all the areas that we don't need a double sticky tape, we can trim that now before we lay our napkin on there. And I'm going to use this extra piece I had left over from the previous cards because it's going to be becomes resistant for me, so that way I don't have to work as hard to cut this away. Okay. There is double sticky tape you can buy by the square, so that way you don't even have to do all that trimming as much or layering with the double sticky tape. But this is the tape that I choose to use at the moment because I'm really happy with it, and it's a great product. So now I have that, and what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to grab another release sheet. And so this is so that way I have that on hand. And I am now, this is covered with the Elizabeth Craft Design double sticky tape. This side right here is just cardstock. And so what we're going to do now is go ahead and bring our napkin in that we have pulled the layers off of. And you want to go ahead and pull your tape up. I'll start from this corner here. And you're going to release this off, and this is real sticky, so you want to be really careful before you do that. And before we take this bottom piece off, I'm going to go ahead and lay this in position and then remove that bottom layer of the Elizabeth Craft Design double sticky tape, so I can position my napkin the way that I want it. Because once you lay it down, it's no picking it back up. So we're going to just go ahead and smooth that on out there. And you can see that the top part is already on there, and we left with this bottom part. So I'm going to now remove this bottom part. And release that. And let my napkin fall and smooth this on out. Smooth this out with your hand. So now what we want to do is go around this and trim it up a little bit here, so you can see how you need to trim it up. You can bring in your big scissors again for this one. You want to go around all 4 squares or 4 sides of the square. Okay, that looks pretty good there. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to trim this down again. So now I'm going to go ahead and remove the napkin strips off of the pair of scissors here, so that'll be clean and free. Go ahead and discard this here. Okay, so now you have your napkin already adhered to the cardstock by using the double sticky tape. And so it looks like this right now. So now it's thick. So we have a little small piece. There we go. I got that rid of that. So in the next step, you want to pull in a copy paper sheet. So you just need one copy sheet. Don't use your good stuff. Use one of your copy sheets from your printer. And I'm going to now lay this, what you just added to the cardstock, your napkin, on top of this here, because we are getting ready to add some more detail. So what we want to do is we want to go ahead and we want to pull our Versa mark. This is the ink that you're going to be using. The Versa mark is what you need to do this project. So we're going to pull that out, and you're also going to need 2 coffee filters. You're going to need 2 because one is going to be for your Martha Stewart glitter, and the other one is going to be for your Ranger which is your sticky glitter. Actually, this is your sticky this is your embossing powder. This is the Sticky Bond embossing powder by Ranger. So you're going to need that. And so now we're going to go ahead and take the Versamark ink. And you also want to have your heat embossing gun as well on hand and ready to go. You want to take time and you want to stamp around this whole entire napkin that you have prepared on the cardstock really well. So add a lot of ink to that. So let's go ahead and do that now. You want to press the ink pad straight down on top of it, and you want to make sure you coat this really great. And I'm going to go over this very generously because you need a lot of ink in order for this to adhere like it needs to. And you can see it a little bit as well because your image is going to have some ink on it. You can change by how the colors on your napkin, but it's easier to see in person than it is on camera. And depending on how well and how new your ink pad is, you may want to coat it some more. And I can see it a little bit here, but I feel like it needs more. So you just keep going till you're satisfied. You want to make sure you get those edges real well as well. You just want to press it all the way around. Okay, that should be good right there. So once you got it to where you're happy with it, you can see that it's on there. And now you want to add your Ranger, which is your embossing powder. That's the Sticky Bond. And you want to coat this really well by bringing in your coffee filter. So I'm just going to lay this all on there. And I'm going to spread this out some and let some of it fall on here. And I'm going to take it back this direction. And so you can add this back to the bottle here, or the little jar. And I want to go ahead and coat the side that I missed here. Give it a nice little tap there. And you're going to have something that looks, I feel like I missed the area there. You're going to have something that looks like this. You can see how it's cloudy. That's because the sticky embossing powder is now sticking onto the front of your napkin. So now I'm going to lay this down just for a quick second. And I'm going to add my powder back into this jar. And close this on up. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and I want to heat emboss this napkin here. And to do that, you definitely want something to hold it down, so you can use the end of your scissors if you choose to. And it's going to start to change, so you'll be able to see that as I do it. So I'm going to lay this camera down just a little bit more for you to be able to see. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to let this heat up for a little while. You should be able to see that color change, and it's coming back now because the Sticky Bond is changing as you add that heat. It's becoming sticky. Okay, you don't want to go over it too long because it will start to dry on you. So you want to go ahead and do what you need to do. So you can see how bright that is now. So now I'm going to go ahead and add my glitter. And this is sticky now, as you can see. It's real sticky. So now we're going to add the glitter to it. And this is what's going to give it its shine. So you want to tap, tap, tap. And any fine glitter that you have that is a white glitter is going to look really great on this. And so if you have another one other than Martha Stewart, feel free to definitely use that. And if you don't, then use whatever color you have on hand and just play around with it till you get the look that you're going for. All it is trial and error, and it's about having fun. It's no wrong or right way to do this because everyone creates a different way. So I'm literally just putting a lot of glitter on here right now. And I'm just going to let this fall wherever it falls at. Do this side over here. Okay. Tap, tap, tap to get some of the excess off. Now you are going to add this glitter back to your jar. So let's go ahead and do that quickly. So you can reuse this. You can save this in here. So I'm going to put all that back in there that fell off the card here so far. Just easy cleanup when you're using the coffee filters. But you can also use your glitter trays as well. And I'm going to be bringing that in just a moment. Alright, so we'll move these two things out of the way here. Okay, so now I'm going to bring in my glitter tray. And for my glitter tray, what I want to do is I want to brush off some of that excess before I heat this up. This is the glitter tray here, and it came with this brush, as you can see. And so now let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to brush some of that off. Okay. Okay, now I want to go ahead and heat this up. So let's go ahead and do that. So you need your heat embossing gun again. To do it right there, and all that does is reheating with the glitter on there. It just basically seals it in even more. And if you feel some areas that are sticky, you can go back and add some more glitter if you choose to, and you can do that, which is perfectly fine. But this is what you're going to have. This is how you create the napkin card front. And now I'm going to also add the base to it as well. So I'm going to give this one more brush just to make sure we don't have any excess falling off. Alright, we should be in business now. That looks pretty good. Alright. Now we're done with the glitter tray. I can move this off to the side. Okay, so now that we have that done, let's go ahead and bring in our other pieces that we need. So one of the pieces we're going to need this scallop square. This scallop square is what I use to cut out the card. As you can see how the design is on this card here, I use this die right here to make that happen. So we're going to go ahead and position this and cut that now. And I will be right back. So now we already have our piece, our front of our card cut out. So I went ahead and I used the scallop square die to cut this out, and this is what you're left with. And so that's how you get this piece right here. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the rest of the card. So now you can go ahead and move the rest of this out the way. And so we also have some other pieces that you're going to need. You're going to need some red cardstock. And for the red cardstock, you're going to use the Elizabeth Craft Design die set, as well as the Memento die set. So you're going to need this right here for this piece. And that's going to be layered underneath. For the silver piece that I cut out, you're going to use this foil that I have cut out, and this is the die set that I use from the Elizabeth Craft Design, which is called Stitch Squares. It comes from this set right here. And the foiling comes from this Dollar Tree pack. It's called 4 sheets. It's by Jot, and you get 20 sheets of different colors. And that's where this foil color came from, this beautiful silver. Last but not least, you're also going to use another square from the Memento die set, and that's how you get your biggest piece for the green. So let's go ahead and line all of these up now so we can put together our whole card. Alright, so let's go ahead and layer these in position now. So we have our card base. So we want to start with this piece. And we can position all these other pieces in just a moment. So here's our card base that we cut earlier in the very beginning. So you want to go ahead and lay this down. And you're going to place your green card on top. So you can use whatever glue you have on hand. So right now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull my glue that I love to use, which is the Belly Art Precision Craft Glue. That's what I'll be using for today's tutorial. And so I'm going to go ahead and place my glue all around the border of my card base. Okay, so now we can go ahead and lay our green cardstock on top of the front of this card base. Okay, there we go. So you want to go ahead and give that a good press. And we can eliminate this sheet right here because we don't need that anymore. Okay, you're going to have something that looks like this right here. And the next color we're going to do is going to be the silver. So you want to lay the silver, so you want to grab that square. So go ahead and you want to add some glue this time to the foil. And a precision tip is always great because it allows a certain amount of glue to come out the way you don't have too much. And you can spread it out the way you choose to do that. So I like the fact that it's kind of controlled a little bit there, which is really great. And so now once you have your glue on this piece here, you can go ahead and adhere this to the front of your card, making sure you try to line it up as good as possible and create like a little border here. Okay, let's check out this and see how it's looking. Okay, not bad, not bad at all. Okay, you want to go ahead and smooth this out here. And this is what we have so far. So you have your green down and you also have your silver foil down so far. That's what it looks like. Now you want to grab your red base, which is your other cardstock piece, and you want to add glue to this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and add this piece right here on top of the silver foil piece, and you want to try to line this up as well as best as you can. Let's take a look at that and see what we're looking like. That looks pretty good. Go ahead and lay that down and smooth it out. Perfect. Alright, and so now you have something that looks like this. You can see how the borders are lining up together. Now your final front card piece that you did with the napkin, the one that you did all the main work on, this is the final piece that you're going to add to the front of the cardstock here to complete your card. So you want to go ahead and add some glue to that as well. So we're going to take this piece and we're going to add this to the front of our card. And we're going to give this a good press right here. Okay. Alright, so voila, you have your card and it is complete, just like the front one here. So we have created this card and I'm glad that you guys have chose to join me, but let's go ahead, we're not done yet. We need to add the sentiment to the inside. So I have selected the sentiment. I'm using the same one that I used in the side of this card before. The sentiment that I used was from the Wet Collections, which is called Christmas Noel. This is a 9-piece set that's 4 inches by 8 inches, and this is the sentiment that we're going to use today, which is this one. And let's go ahead and do that now. And so for this, you're going to need your VersaFine ink or any black ink that you have on hand or whatever color you choose. And I've already got everything in position here. So I'm going to also bring in my stamping mat as well. This is my scissored mat to help with the stamping, so I'm going to use that. I'm going to open this on up here, and I want to go ahead and ink this up. Okay, that looks pretty good there. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our sentiment to the inside. And position it about right here. Press this down and give the ink a chance to adhere to the paper. And our card is done. And it says, may joy fill your home and peace fill your heart this season. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Tanya here with Memory Lane Keepsakes. I'm so glad that you guys have taken time to watch this whole tutorial from start to finish. This is my napkin card tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have not subscribed to my channel, I hope you choose to do so. Also, don't forget to comment down below. Check me out on Instagram, which is Memory Lane Keepsakes 2017. Continue to be blessed as always. Happy holidays to you and your family. Bye-bye.